Okay, hello everyone. Gonna start actually.
Yes, yes.
All
Just
right.
start.
My
Yeah,
name
all
is
ready.
Gatsam Betsan, and I'm basically going to just be going through a couple of crypto pointers. The first one is going to be just a basic introduction into cryptocurrency, and then I'm going to discuss where we currently are in terms of crypto in Africa, and and I'm going to touch on a few mainstream cryptos. But yeah, let's get started. So cryptocurrency is basically blockchain technology that allows us. This is just a nutshell, of basic. I'm not going to go into too much detail into all of these, but I'm just going to give you guys a basic explanation. It's blockchain technology that allows the transfer of value very fast and cheap. So what it basically allows us to do is send money how you would send a message on WhatsApp. Because I mean, it's 2020, but if you think about it, you can't, money takes 3 days to get transferred all this. So what this technology enables us to do is basically send money as quickly as we are able to send WhatsApp messages or emails. It's basically the internet of money. So that's just in a nutshell what that is. So if we move, are there any questions?
Uh, I I don't think so. Not yet.
Okay, but wait, all right. So is that a clear explanation? Do you understand what?
So can I ask you? So what's in your definition? What would be the difference between cryptocurrency and digital currency? Uh,
A digital.
mhm.
Okay, so digital currency would be basically how we can send money digitally. It doesn't have to be cash. But a cryptocurrency in all like is different too. So it's not a rand. It has to be something else because rand is already a currency. So digital currency would be rands digitally. Digital
Okay.
currency would be dollars digitally or euros or nairas,
Okay.
and then a cryptocurrency is using entirely new technology, basically, that, like I'm saying, is the internet of money. So it allows us to send money as quickly as we send WhatsApp messages, or emails.
Okay.
All right. So in terms of where we are in with crypto in Africa is, all I found was Acoin. So it's basically a cryptocurrency by Akon, the musician. He started a cryptocurrency because his goal is basically to start an Akon City, or Acoin City, sorry, Acoin City in Senegal, which is like a high-tech, futuristic city, and he wants that to be the sole currency or the central currency there. But it's more than just a currency. It's a system. I did send the white paper on the Africa iShare group, which basically explains everything in detail. So I'm just gonna go and touch on a few pointers. Uh, he basically, it's more than just a currency, but it's a system that allows or encourages entrepreneurship in developing countries. That's why, but he's targeting Africa the most. So the transaction flow is basically peer-to-peer, local vendors, atomic swaps, which basically means that you can change the coin for cryptos. You can, buy at local vendors because they will accept the A coin. Peer to peer, I can send my friend money if I owe them money, or they can send me money. Prepaid minutes, because it is a very big use of exchange in Africa, prepaid minutes. So he will allow people to transfer their prepaid minutes into the A coin, which then allows you to transfer it into any currency after that, or any cryptocurrency after that. And so that's basically how they get the fiat into the prepaid minutes. into the Acoin, which basically allows you to transfer it anywhere, basically where they take it. So you could be anywhere in the world, wherever they accept it, you would be able to use it.
Okay. And is it just the prepaid minutes, or is there something? Can I exchange something else to get the Acoin? Is it just the prepaid minutes?
Yes, you can exchange like cryptocurrency, but at the moment, I don't think you can get it because they're still working on it. But I did send the white paper on the group, but I don't. Yeah, at the moment, it's not on exchanges, but they are using XLM, so Stellar technology. So I think they will be first on the Stellar exchange, which is another type of cryptocurrency, which also does what Acoin is trying to do, but obviously not in Africa. Like I think it's an American company.
Okay.
Are there any questions from that?
Let's see. What we could do is we could keep going a bit, and then we take questions maybe after we've gone maybe a few more minutes.
All right. Okay. Let me just jump into mainstream cryptos then.
Okay, but can I, for myself, I have a question before we move on. Yeah. But so tell me, so other than Acoin, is there any other kind of very Africa focused kind of cryptocurrency other than that one?
Unfortunately, there isn't. It seems like this is the only one.
Okay.
So I was also actually trying to find more, hoping that there is, but it seems that this is the only one.
Okay, I didn't get I didn't look through the white paper so that I see how far they are at developing it. Would you know how far? Like, do they have like a time which they want to launch it? Do they have like some guideline on when they expect it to be working?
Yes, I think they have estimations because he wants the Acoin city running by, I think it's about 2030, in about 10 years.
Okay.
But I don't know if the currency will be ready or already in use before that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I disrupted you. You're going to go to speak about the main cryptocurrency.
Okay, I'm just gonna also just go in and touch on these ones. So basically, you guys, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically the mainstream cryptocurrency that is the flagship of the whole crypto movement. It was the first one of kind of its kind that people use, and that's why it's developed so much. There's also a lot. It's actually slower than a few. Like, for example, XRP. That is a better type of cryptocurrency. So just going into a bit of XRP, it's faster, and cheaper to transfer than Bitcoin, and they are working with banks. So basically, this is gonna, like I said, that it's the like cryptocurrency is the internet of money. This is the coin that the banks are currently working together, from the research that I've been doing, to basically use for themselves.
So what is it called?
XRP. The company is called Ripple.
Okay, I know it. I know Ripple.
Yes. It's XRP. So it seems that the banks are basically getting together to use this technology because they all have to. They've been through regulations, and they've gone through testing phases. So I think it's only a matter of time before they They run the real thing, and XRP is being used to transfer value amongst banks.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's another one which is Stellar Lumnet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this cryptocurrency is basically is what Acoin Acoin will be using its technology and working on its exchange. So what it basically does, it's an exchange where it allows the exchange of money into crypto into money. So it will have Acoin on its exchange, which will allow Acoin to change into other cryptos and other currencies.
Okay.
So that's also a nice one to look at. And Stellar, the coin is XLM.
Mm.
Yeah, those are very and just for extra value for whoever's listening, I think XRP, which is Ripple, and XLM are very good investment opportunities for a young person that maybe isn't uh financially stable or is sitting on a lot of money, but because these coins are currently very cheap. And if you but this is not financial advice. Again, I'm just saying that you should go and do your research and really look into them, because I feel like if you guys really looked into it, you would find some really interesting things that you can, which would then lead you to buying some and holding over a couple of years. Because if we use Bitcoin to compare. The Bitcoin, I believe, is a bit of an outlier, but just stick with me. So if we use Bitcoin as a comparison, for example, one XRP is currently about 5 South African rands, 30 cents US dollars.
That's cheap.
And which is extremely cheap. And if you look at how Bitcoin's price has developed over the years, it was once the same price, and now it's about what is it, $11,000. So it could be a good investment. So even if you don't, if you want to look into XRP, maybe buy yourself like a few coins and just keep and see how it works out over the years, because they are working with the banks, and in most cases the banks never lose. Yeah, so that's basically just all I wanted to go through. Are there any questions?
Yes, there's a question on the chat, on the Skype chat. Can you see it? So Jacob asked, how far has the prepaid crypto convertible system penetrated across the continent? I think that's the Acoin.
If you look at the white paper that was sent in the group, you can actually see that they forecasting this based on the people that are already using the prepaid minutes as a medium of exchange, as buying, as so what they're doing is that they're going to enable that as the ecosystem that's already there, and just move it to the Acoin ecosystem, making it ultimately better and more convenient and with a lot more benefits.
Okay. So tell me.
I hope so.
Okay, yes. So tell me, like in let's say like for prepaid in South Africa, how much what can you use your prepaid coins for?
In South Africa, actually we don't use prepaid like prepaid airtime. We don't use that for trade. Mm-hmm. It's not one of the African countries that were like in the list for, but the Acoin would still work, because we would be able to just buy the coin directly from the fiat.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Because I'm thinking like I know a bit more about Kenya, so yes. and how you well, okay, so this is how it works. So like the Vodafone equivalent in Kenya is Safaricom, and now what happens is that, and it's like the biggest it's the biggest network. And what
Yes.
happens is that when you make a call, they give you points. So you earn these virtual points, which are called bonga points. And now what
Yeah.
happens is that when you get these points and you accumulate them over a period of time, like you after a period of time, you can redeem your points. It's the same way like you see like when you use your shopping card and you get like
Oh,
at
yes.
Woolworths and maybe you buy
Yes.
something and you get points on your card or
Yes.
like that sort of thing. And then but then here is in Kenya what happens is that when you make a call, every time you spend a certain amount of money on your call, you get points. Yeah. So
Oh,
and
right.
then after you can use like it has gotten so big that you can actually use the points to buy a phone. You can get a smartphone using your points.
Yeah.
And then you can like you literally just don't need to spend
Yeah.
money, and you can get something that is of such great value by just using your points. And then the other thing you can do also is that you sort of like can give someone a gift of points. Do you understand? Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
could
Just give
gift
someone
you.
points so that they can buy what they
Yeah,
want.
yeah. Or like these days, like what people would do is that if I want to get like an iPhone, I can't afford it. So you tell all your friends to send you like this many
Point.
number of points. And you see, for most people, it doesn't cost them much because it's points. You just earn them, and you get so
Yeah.
many that you're able to buy like a really, like yeah. So it's something. I haven't seen how the prepaid minutes would work, but I haven't seen it work. Maybe a different network is trying it because like the prepaid minutes is such a big thing for other networks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you can literally buy talk time, prepaid minutes with so little
Yes.
and get so many talk points for such a long time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but I feel like for example, in cases like that, to
Mhm.
compensate in areas where, like, for example, the talk points are so cheap,
Mhm.
you would just have to pay more talk points to get the same amount of coins that someone else that pays more for talk points. do. So I feel like at the end of the day, it would all be balanced out, but it would it would all work really well, I think, as a system,
Yeah.
because then it would at least have one value that you guys, regardless of the talk points and the points, and you can have one thing that you can all look to and measure as your
Mm.
medium of exchange.
Yeah. Okay. So if I may ask, why is the maybe okay? So let me just ask anyway. Maybe you may not have an answer, but what made Bitcoin appreciate so much so fast? So that you can look at it and think that maybe XLM or like what?
But Bitcoin, I believe, because it was the face of cryptocurrency, was a lot of speculation. So people that actually believed in the technology, that bought the actual coins. When the financial institutions started getting the money in there, that was also a big thing that made price go high. And another thing that pushed Bitcoin's price very high was when you could, there was transactions, or the people started actually using it to
Mhm.
move money. So like 100 million would move in Bitcoin into this, like, because it's literally like sending money how you'd send an email or something. So, for example, let's say I have a financial institution and my base in South Africa needs to send money to Kenya. So
Mhm.
what they did is they literally just used the Bitcoin. They bought it, transferred it, money went there and then cashed it out. So that all, over time, it led price to increase, but I also think largely speculation.
Okay.
And I believe that the people believe in the technology because it works. So it's basically just a developed uh like a developed market. It's like the internet. When Microsoft, it only survived because the internet is an actual thing. Computers, people are still going to need computers, the internet. Yeah. So right now, if you have to compare it to the internet age, you would look at, if you had to compare now what is happening in terms of money and cryptocurrency, it would be the same as what was happening, before the internet, or just as the internet came out. So yeah.
Understand. And these other cryptocurrencies, do they use the same kind of technology as Bitcoin? Do you have to do the mining and
no, there's different types of technologies. That's why some of them are faster and cheaper. Like you see XRP, the one that I was mentioning, is cheaper and faster than Bitcoin. So basically, if I wanted to send 50 rand to you right now, or 50 Bitcoin to you right now, it would, let's say, it takes 2 minutes. But if I wanted to send the same amount in XRP, it would take less time, because the technology used for XRP is quicker. Better, and it would be cheaper. That's why banks are going to be using XRP.
Okay. Have you seen that? Are you able to see? Okay.
Let me just efforts. I think that they will actually make this happen, meaning that there will be like Amazon paying for subscription. You will be able to use the coin, because think about it, the coin eliminates the reason that people with minutes that are worth $1 million or whatever can't use them for anything else besides where they're around. Because once they create the coin, what that does is that it creates a trusted medium of exchange and accepted everywhere. Because now once you can go on the Acoin app and exchange the Acoin for euros, for rands, for nairas, for anything, then anywhere, like wherever you want to use that specific Acoin, you would be able to use it. Given, especially online, and for subscriptions, it basically would. That's the convenience of it. The benefit it enables for that.
Yeah, I actually agree. Like what Jacob is saying, that right now, making a transaction online, the banking details that you have to give, and you have to give a card number. It expires. If it expires, they cancel your subscription, and then
exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's literally gonna be as quick as sending a message, because it's all it takes is your crypto wallet address, the amounts that you want to send, the amounts of that thing, and then ultimately the transaction would be done. It should be something very similar to that, because of how it's quicker. It's the better way of doing it. It's the next stage that we're gonna go to.
Yeah, but I agree. I've seen someone explain, even sending Bitcoin, they can do it just as easy as sending an email. It's not as difficult or as complicated, or it's not hectic.
Exactly, and I feel like that's where we should be, given that we're in 2020. If we can send messages like that, then we should be able to send money as well like that. Why is it that I can send a message to you, you receive it now, but if I want to send you some money, it's going to take 4 working days?
Okay, I don't think it's as I don't think it's taking as long as that, but
I'm over exaggerating. But I'm over exaggerating.
Well, yeah,
no, but I'm just trying to make the point,
Yeah, but I also agree. It's quite the technology is moving so fast that there are people who do not know what a checkbook looks like right now.
Yeah.
Because in the past, someone will write you a check, and then you have to bank it. Then it takes actually 4 working days to clear. But there's a generation of people who don't know, who have not used a checkbook, or who don't know what a checkbook is like, because they have never needed to.
Exactly. So soon it will be like, people will be like, "What, you guys used to use cash?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I also had another question. Anyway, you can just go on to discuss the next point. I think I keep getting new questions as
Oh
we
no
go
no
by.
no that was basically just the point that I'm done. It was the cryptocurrency introduction and then the Aircoin, which basically is where we are in terms of cryptos in Africa, and then the mainstream cryptos, which was the Bitcoin, XRP, Ripple, and then XLM, Stellar, Luminous.
So tell me, is there much trade happening right now on XRP in Africa? Do you know? Because you say like banks are starting to use it. Is it
Yes,
banks in
banks
Africa?
and no, as in American banks
Okay.
and yeah, so it's basically still being implemented by I could say the people that are in charge of the economy at the moment.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
like the bigger banks, but in terms of trade, do you mean the value of the actual coin or
Okay,
money being
I
moved
think
around?
okay, so I have like two questions. So it's both of them. Like because what you say is that there's not much use of XRP in Africa right now, but that does not mean I can't buy it. I can, yeah. But then also, who is using it the most? It's mainly banks in the US, yeah.
Yeah, yes, and I'd say the reason that it's people, or I'd say the reason that it's mainly being used by banks in US right now is just that people haven't adopted it, and also the reason that there isn't use or a lot of use of it currently in Africa. You can buy it still. Do you understand
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it doesn't mean that we restricted from getting it. You can literally buy it and send it. So it's going to be a matter of time before we actually start just using it because of its convenience.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
actually I agree
So
because nothing stops me from buying it and you who has it maybe between me and you to trade on it.
yeah,
So
exactly. So if I wanted to send you some money, I could buy Ripple, send it to you. You would receive it now, and then exchange it on the exchange that you have on your phone, and then
yeah,
money would be sent to your bank account.
okay. I really like this idea because let me tell you because especially moving money across African countries
Yeah,
can be a problem. So first one
yeah,
because of the sometimes because the currencies are not as strong, like the rand
yes,
would be like the rand is much stronger than maybe even the naira. Yeah, it actually is, or and even
mm,
stronger than the Kenya shilling, or like how different, and then how
yeah.
different currencies are like. And then the other problem is getting money, especially like from out of South Africa. You have to get, I don't know, you have to sign, you have to disclose and say you didn't steal this money,
I
and
hear
then you
you.
have to swear by three documents that this money belongs to you, even if it has been in your account for 3 months. You have to
Do you
say
have to pay
where you
charges
get.
as well?
Yeah, I mean it, and then to
Yeah,
think that you can just send me that without anyone stopping you or you being cleared by the
exactly.
central bank, by the
Ex-
reserve bank, where you sending this money to.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly, because like now the fees are also going to be smaller. It's going to be you're not going to be paying crazy fees to send your own money anymore.
that's true.
It's going to be literally minuscule.
Yeah, so is there, so actually when you say that, does it mean like the transaction cost of trading in
Yes.
like XRP is not as much, yeah?
Yeah. So for example, if I was going to send you now rands, let's say I want to go send you money, it would, let's say the cost, for example, that this is, I'm not sure if this is right or not, I'm just making an example.
Mm-hmm,
Let's say it costs about 100 rand on top of whatever I'm sending you,
mm-hmm,
so the transaction cost is 100 rand.
mm-hmm,
But if I was to do it with Ripple, the
mm-hmm.
transaction cost would be 0.001 Ripple, or
Oh,
XRP, which is extremely, it's like cents.
wow, okay.
So it's going to save a lot of people a lot of money from the transaction costs.
So there's a question on the chat. Can I read it to
So
you?
yes, you can read it.
What is the implementation approach strategy caused due to the heavy regulatory environment in the banking sector? I think approaching the mobile telecommunication industry will give the crypto enormous leverage and a giant partner to fight back the inevitable pushback. I haven't read it. You're not understand what I just read. Just read it
No, 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 no.
yourself.
I think I understand
Okay.
what it means. Okay, so in terms of the banking sector, the reason that I'm saying that Ripple or XRP I trust it so much is because they're working around regulations now. You know, if you look, the XRP is already working with banks. So meaning that the regulation, everything has been done. So because this plan has been in motion, I believe for at least about I don't know, we can say, you know, around 3-4 years back when crypto was still coming around and booming, when all of these started, like 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, the banking sector, the reason I'm saying that the best crypto, it would be the one that is being used by the banks, because then you know that the regulations and everything are proper.
Yeah.
And approaching the mobile telecommunication industry, I think that's what Acoin has done. I think he has basically approached a telecom company, and then that allows for him to use the Acoin in exchange for their minutes. You know, so people buy the minutes to then exchange for the Acoin to use on the Acoin ecosystem and as a currency. So I think that's what Acoin has actually done.
I think what Econ has done is brilliant because you see, there are some situations where, like, if you have prepaid minutes, especially that have a time limit, you know, like,
Yes.
especially if you have prepaid minutes that you should use up by a certain period or they expire or something. Well, there are some telecommunication companies that do that. So imagine now that you have that and you can choose, you can opt to exchange that for Acoin and then use the Acoin in
Exactly.
that Acoin ecosystem, which I'm sure you can buy things of value, you know?
Yeah, like you can literally buy from peer, you know, you can peer-to-peer transactions, local vendors, you know, so you can use it at the shop. So instead of you having to sacrifice these minutes that you maybe haven't used, you can just use that somewhere else.
Yeah, that's quite. But I think the thing with especially African countries, the use of technology and virtual currency and digital currency in one country it might be very a big thing, and well, in another country it's not. You know, like you may find like when Acoin picks up, it may just pick up only in, you know, like maybe in West Africa, maybe a few countries, but it may never impact let's say Malawi, you know, or
Yeah,
because
I hear that, but it's at least then it's only a problem of a mobile phone, and even on the white paper, I'm not too sure on the exact figures, but there's about, I forgot exactly what the number is, excuse me, but there's a lot of people with smartphones already. You know, there is a large audience or a large crowd with smartphones, because from that you already have everything. That's why it's so important to allow people to buy prepaid minutes, because then it takes away that, you know, the whole problem, or at least makes it a bit easier, in the sense that it's only a matter of a phone, and the stats do show that, you know, that's not such a far-fetched idea, because there are a lot of people with smartphones, and the numbers are increasing and will increase over the next few years.
okay, yeah, but I think that what Acoin is doing is quite brilliant. I think it's better than
I think it's good too, to be honest.
yeah. So Jacob is typing. a question. But do you have a bit more time still, or do you need?
Yes. I have a bit more time. It's okay.
Okay. I think, especially in the African continent, especially once there's maybe the first like Acoin is the first crypto to like to break into the African continent. I think they might be just an outlier in Africa, like like Bitcoin is, because and
Yeah.
especially the strategy that they are using of using the telecommunication company. If people take it up, it could be a big thing.
Yeah, I believe it will because even the vision as even though I mean the vision of the coin, even though it's starting in a coin city in Senegal, it says here one Africa, one coin. So he says that it's African coin, but it so happened to just go with the a coin, his name, but it says it's actually the African coin.
Yeah,
So
I
I
don't think he
think
should have his name there.
yeah, I think the main aim is to actually get it out there.
But thing is that though, is that like for myself, Acoin, I just heard of it today. So I'm not sure which forums are these where they make people aware of what's going on in the cryptocurrency space.
To be honest, the best would probably to find some good Instagram accounts that maybe keep people updated. But you would just have to, always be looking to see what's new on, crypto news. And yeah, I don't really have a solid answer for that, to be honest.
Yeah, because you see, being is I feel like what you're saying about like Ripple, being is it's such a convenient and easy way for someone to transact in, and people will
Mm,
take it up, especially when you say about the transaction cost is much cheaper. People will take it
mm.
up only that people are not aware of it. Like a majority of the people lack the information on like what's
Yeah,
going on
true.
and trading in this sort of thing. Yeah.
I feel like it will eventually come out because it is fairly new, but you are right. People just lack the actual, information because like now that I've mentioned it, I would still highly encourage everyone to go, look it up on their own because it makes all the sense in the world and, provides an opportunity, that could not have been present to us if we didn't have the information.
Yeah. Are there people who are buying these kinds of currency and holding it so that they can sell it to people?
So let me just try to explain it. So currently, the price of one XRP is about 30 cents American dollars. So that's about 5 rand South African,
Mm-hmm.
5 rand, right?
Yeah.
So now this coin is 30 cents. If it goes up in value to $1,
Mm-hmm.
if you have 100 coins, you just made $100, dude. Uh, so what a lot of people do is that they'll stack it. So now just imagine at 30 cents, if you have 1,000 coins, what
Mm,
happens when the coin gets to $10? You have $10,000,
mm,
and how much is 1,000 coins gonna cost? So in comparison to the reward.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's basically what they do. They just buy
Mm,
that's speculation. Yeah, you buy the coin at a small price because that's why I was saying earlier on using Bitcoin as a comparison.
mm-hmm.
If you look at Bitcoin, its price now
Mm-hmm.
for one coin, it's
Mm-hmm.
literally $11,000. So if you buy today, let's say you buy 10 XRP and you decide to hold them for the next 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
if it also goes to 11,000, you and I'm not saying that it will. That's I'll just
Yeah.
showing
Yeah.
an example. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, if you think about it, if you have 10,000, it doesn't even have to go to 11,000. If you have 10,000 coins
Mhm.
and the price of XRP goes to $10, you just made $100,000. So there is a lot of opportunity that that we should open our eyes to.
Yeah. The reason I was asking that is because I see, like, I've seen only that maybe I didn't pay attention to it, but if you see
Yeah.
on Twitter, someone comes on like a discussion topic, and someone posts something there about buy this currency and you will make, first, I didn't quite understand why someone would do that. So I just
Yeah, true.
wondered, is
Yeah,
it them selling it or are they telling me to go buy it on an exchange? I was a bit
yeah.
confused, but
I won't lie, it is sketchy when someone does that, but that's why I will say also do your own research, make sure that you understand what you're putting your money into. At least, someone, for me, I'm just showing, people that are interested to go look,
mhm,
where to go look, basically.
yeah. So let me read this other comment or question. If the mobile telecom get on board, it will be very easy because the mobile phone use penetration is excellent. I'm thinking if one could purchase the crypto through mobile telecom, it will be easier. Meaning, if it is part of the menu used to purchase airtime or data. Uh,
Exactly. I feel like that was, what Acoin was also really targeting.
mhm.
And I think this will be an option because if he is saying that people can use prepaid minutes, I'm assuming that they will be able to buy directly after, so you load that, you buy the airtime or the prepaid minutes, and then directly from that, you can then transfer that into Acoin, which then,
Yeah.
connects you to everything.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's a possibility. You can buy any of them on your mobile phone, like just as one of the options of top up airtime or do something. Then there's the option to just buy Acorn.
Yeah, I think yeah, true. That would be the best way, when if it is like that. But I don't think you'd be able to buy all cryptos like that. Maybe specifically a coin if they can, communicate and basically get like Jacob is saying, all the telecom companies on board. Because once they do that, then everywhere in Africa you can buy it, which automatically makes it essential currency, even though not the sole, but it's now everywhere.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. I've gotten some good information from this
No,
myself.
I'm glad you got some valuable information. I'm glad I could provide some value.
Yeah, because I think that it's just the lack of information on so much of the cryptocurrencies that are available, where they're trading at, what's going on, And then I'm sure there's one coming up every so often. Yeah.
There is, but not so much now. There was a lot of them coming up during the Bitcoin was, making its rounds and making its all-time highs. There was a lot of crypto starting, but a lot of them still have good use case scenarios. So it's not. I specifically tried to stick to currency, so that we can keep it in the currency. But there are a lot of cryptos that do other things as well. That's why it's also very important to look into the crypto that you might want to buy some of, or
Because I'm sure there's just many, possibly many others.
yeah, because think about when the internet came out, it created such a space. Like Microsoft, look at the Amazons, all these, the Apples. There's a lot of companies that are doing the same thing but differently, or different things the same way.
Yeah. So, and tell me, when we keep having this talk about like an African digital currency or an African cryptocurrency, do you think Acoin might be that?
I was actually asking myself that question, and I think it could be. To be honest, I really think that it could be, because if it's so far ahead already in terms of its developments, and there's a white paper, and it's only a matter of time until the city is up and running. Once the Acoin city is up and running, if they can find a way to integrate it into other African countries around, which
Mhm.
is what I think that they're already probably looking to do, it should be the one. Because I feel like from there, just imagine I'm from Senegal and I'm traveling to South Africa, and I know that they use the A coin. It's easy. Or if I'm from South Africa going to Senegal, I know that, okay, well, all I have to do is just have the Acoin. So now if it's that convenient to buy things all over Africa, I think it will eventually just be what everyone uses. But
Yeah.
but we must also keep in mind that the other cryptos will be there too. So we don't know what other cryptos, could pop up as well. But I do believe that Aircoin will be one of the big players.
Yeah. Oh, do you know who is funding the construction of the Akon city? Is it the government of Senegal?
I'm
Or is
not
it
too
Akon
sure.
himself?
I think it's Akon himself, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. Or yeah, I'm not sure at all.
Because I'm thinking for it to be like, for people to think this is an African cryptocurrency, it needs such a buy-in almost of the African Union, not the government, but it needs for at least to be legitimized. There needs to be legitimacy from it, and one of the ways to get legitimacy, especially, is like like the
Yeah,
African Union or such persons saying, like this is an African, or people, like people just taking it up, and especially people who have influence either in the banking sector, in the financial sector, or in the political sector,
exactly.
that kind of
Well,
thing.
I heard him saying that he's an advisor. I was watching an interview the other day, and he was basically saying that he's an advisor to, I forgot the exact number, but like he said something like more than 10 or 20 African presidents.
He's advising 20 African
Oh,
presidents
yeah,
on what?
yeah. And he apparently he's doing like a lot in Africa, to be honest. But yeah, he's one of that on that advisory team or something like that. Just double check. But
No, no, it could be true. Maybe it's just that I didn't think it that way. I mean, it's possible because musicians are brand ambassadors to the UN and such causes. So
yeah,
it's
and for the
possible.
fact that he's doing so much for Africa would make so much sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I think that would also help in when it comes to, making a coin the African coin, is that if you're working with politicians of multiple countries, it would be easier to implement if everyone is on the same page.
yeah. And I also like, I think from the beginning, what he's saying that it's an African coin, it's not a Senegal
Yeah,
coin, because the minute you domesticate it and say this is an idea, let's say from Ghana, maybe the rest of
yeah,
Africa may just feel like, well, that's a Ghana idea, let's get an
yeah,
African idea. So I think
yeah. It's
it needs to be
African.
strategic as well, like say this is
Exactly.
an African idea. It's only that we are piloting it or doing this from
Yeah,
Senegal.
true.
Mm.
True, true. I think that's also very, very important because once you do that, you remove the entitlements and all the biases and all the unnecessary, ultimately, xenophobia and all of, because no one feels entitled to anything because it belongs to everyone.
Yeah, because I think that's a problem. Maybe in other places as well, but in Africa, it could be quite a problem because you associate an innovation maybe based on where it's coming from and don't want to take it or have any bias, like
Yeah.
against it.
But but I feel like the convenience of this and where we're going now, we need to work together. Ultimately we just need to get over that, and I don't think that people will still come with the whole bias thing, especially given the mission of this crypto, and like the convenience. Ultimately the convenience always wins if it's there and you don't have an alternative, or the alternatives are not the best. If this
Yeah.
is the most convenient option, you're most likely just going to
Yes,
use
yes,
this.
yes. I mean, if it makes commercial sense to me, then
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who is making it. And I
yeah,
think,
exactly. But we also need to be careful of that, because that's the reason we've been, in such positions as Africans, is because as long as it's just made for us, then we tend to be like the convenience. You know what I mean? That's why we need to start making more convenient things for us, I think.
yeah.
Mm.
But to me, I think, which is something which I was trying to say someday in the Africa Asia group, is that it's likely that private businessmen will be the first people to push for cryptocurrency. And I mean by businessman, it could be you and me. If for our
Yeah.
business or for your it makes money sense to you, you're more
Mm.
likely to be the first people to adopt the cryptocurrency like Acoin faster than the
Mm.
government of Sudan might, you know. Like if private people start pushing and working around it, it might make it a bit more quicker to accept.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that the white paper says basically, that Acorn also wants to push the whole, creates an easier, more convenient ecosystem in Africa, so like for entrepreneurship, like you're saying, so for businesses, for young entrepreneurs, for people that want to utilize the resources around them but have never had the chance to, because of problems with the medium of exchange or this and that. So he is pushing for that to basically fuel and to fuel entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I
So I
agree.
think that you are right. If it works, if we start working with it between entrepreneurs and small businesses, then we don't need, you know.
Yeah, because if I can go shopping and I find that I could use my prepaid minutes to pay for my shopping, I mean, I would do that. Doesn't matter if the government the government is not on board with the idea.
Yeah,
Like when I go
exactly.
shopping and someone tells me, "Do you have minutes on your phone that you're not using? You can use those to pay me." Of course, I'll just do it. It doesn't
No
matter who
problem.
is the yeah, because you're getting
Yeah,
value out of it. It's what you said at the
true.
beginning, like it's a real thing, it's a tangible thing that's happening, which if it's tangible and it's a real thing, then it makes sense and it could be adopted
Yeah,
and have value.
exactly.
So, unless there's another question or a comment, uh, Jacob said that Rwanda and Kenya in sub-Saharan Africa can help to push this. What do you think? I think
Yeah.
also Africa 50 initiative can be used because it's pro-African. We can be a bit biased about it and hold competition.
Ultimately, I agree with all of that, and I believe that Africa needs to work together. Like, I feel like everyone must be in, because we can't say that these specific countries must work together to feel like at the end of the day everyone must just go all in, because that's the only way we're gonna you know make a mark, or at least hold our own weight, as if we all playing on the same team. But
Yeah.
definitely, as a startup, or as starting initiatives, I think that, yeah, we should aim to get the whole of Africa behind.
Yeah, of course, I think there will be countries which it will be easier maybe to penetrate in Africa.
Yeah,
If you're honest, like there are some countries which it will be easier to penetrate than others. There will just be countries that it will be easier for even the A coin to get into than for other countries. Especially
true.
especially think about a country that does not even have much of mobile banking, yeah,
Mm.
or a country that does not have much of any form of digital payment. It will be quite difficult for you to
But
tell someone skip all the way from being unbanked and
yeah,
skip all the way to I mean, I think
but I think it will make it so much more convenient, even though it might be a complete change, but such a convenient change. They'll be like, geez, why haven't we been doing this all this time? Where have you,
okay, okay,
you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I, I feel like that's so. It should be more like we should actually just do it now to the places that are currently easy for us to implement, so that we can actually see what places are having a harder time adopting, so that we can work together. Because once Africa works together, there's really nothing that we can't help each other with, I think, at least.
yeah. But I think also the other thing to be careful about is that thing about businesses also is that because I'm thinking like in the situation of think about it. If
Mm-hmm.
Acoin was going to use a telecom company in South Africa, for
Mm-hmm.
instance, who they go to? Would they go to MTN? Would they go to Cell C? Or they go to? I mean, you see, there is a lot of You can go maybe to all
Option.
of them, but you see, these are competitors as well, yeah? So
Yeah.
someone wants to have like the most dominant control, like of that. And I mean, I think the private businesses also might help, but they might also kill the idea. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, true, but I don't think that it will. I don't. I think the telecom companies would actually be happy, and the reason I'm saying that is because they would literally be getting approached saying that all that Acon is doing is basically creating a medium of exchange. So the companies. So if I buy 500 rand of airtime from MTN, that's still their money. And then it just allows for the medium of exchange, which means more business on their platform. So I think it would actually be an advantage for them, meaning that they get to maybe get transaction costs or maybe a certain amount for every transaction made on their services.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Jacob is saying. I don't see the digital migrants born before computer adopting this anytime soon, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's difficult, especially there's a generation which will not even adopt online banking.
Exactly.
So try introducing them to XRP.
There was somewhere on the white paper where Akon says something about the youth. Oh, it says here, Africa has approximately 200 million people between the ages of 15 and 24. So it's only a matter of time before we everyone is tech savvy, and it's these ideas are viable.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a big advantage, the fact that in Africa there's such a huge young population, like
yeah, exactly.
Like I think quite a big majority of the people are the really young people, or
it says by 2045 the African workforce will be the world's largest. So that really puts it into perspective. That
I think the thing that works against most African countries is that even with such a young population, there may just not be cheap access to internet or cheap access to.
True.
I mean, I think the population is there. The population would work. The problem is that the population is really not equipped.
I feel like the biggest problem is that we're not united. You see, once Africa unites, like on a more interdependent, that there can't be a country that doesn't have internet when another country has 8G internet. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like we should all be working together and basically have our livelihoods be interdependent, because then we will be helping each other to make sure that everyone is on the boat and we start moving together.
Yeah, I think we should have this discussion again, because this also came up when you were having like the China Africa discussion. Like, why don't African countries work together? Especially like on the China Africa side to like deal with the loans. Like, why is one African country like overwhelmed with the loans that they have to pay when their neighbor can help them out with some of the things? But
exactly.
But I think it's so different, and but I think there are people who are taking steps, because like there's some group of people from Liberia who are in the innovation and tech sector, and what they have done is that the innovations that they have come up with, they are trying to implement them in. They said they're trying to implement them in Liberia, of course, and then in Ghana, in Kenya, and in South Africa. So they have come up with a solution that they want to test in those 4 countries, which is quite impressive, So
true. As long as we're making progress, as long as we, taking steps forward.
Yeah. Thank you so much for leading us through this discussion.
No problem. It was great. I hope you got some valuable information.
It was a good discussion to get to know much more about what's going on, and yeah. So,
alrighty.
Yeah, I hope there's no other question or any other comment from me. I'll say thank you for this, and for those who have joined the discussion.
Thank you guys for having me as well.
Yeah. So, Jacob is typing. Thank you, and thank you
Yeah, and
all.
thank you for everyone that tuned in.
Yeah, cool. We will keep chatting and goodbye, yo.
All right, bye guys.